upon that cross. See, some of us might be searching for a reason to worship. Some of us might be saying, well, things ain't been good enough for me to worship. Well, one thing, you are living. And when he put your sins on the cross, he gave you an opportunity and life more abundantly. As you listen to the song, then it says, here I am to worship. After I recognize my sins and upon the cross, and now I'm deemed righteous because of Jesus. Now, this is why I worship. When I begin to think about how much I don't deserve, that's why I begin to bow down and worship God. You know, I believe some of us have built up so much love for God and so much anger against sin that literally we desire to say, no, what, God, if I can just lay on my face and worship you, I would do so. Some of us need to see God so much, and we sing the words, I'll bow down and worship. Or we say, here I am to worship. And yet we still stand in his presence like this. I just wonder what would happen if some believers said, know what, God, tonight I'm going to actually do what the song says. I'm going to bow down in your presence. I wonder what would happen if the believers, we said fall breakthrough and we want something different. Yes, this is radical, but understand when you bow down, that's one of the most humble places in worship. So as they continue to sing, I want them to just continue, here I am to worship. And I invite you just to bow down before God just for yourself. I know some of us, we might have never done this before. But I've seen God work before. And when we physically humble ourselves before God, he begin to do strange and miraculous things. And I wouldn't dare be here today to hate in the move of God. But I figured, why not we be doers of the word and bow down and worship God. Right there just begins to think about how great our God is. And God, I've been searching for a way to worship. Maybe you found it tonight. You're worshiping God because he desires your worship. Can we understand that? When you begin to have a love for God and worship God, a smile comes across his face. Worship is not for you, but it's for God. And we want to please God. Let us please God through worshiping him. And not just thanking him and say, God, I'm glad you did this for me. I'm glad you did this. No, but God, I thank you because you're you. God, you off the chains tonight. God, from this day forth, I believe that when I sing this song, it will never be the same. God, I want this song to mean so much to me. Here I am to worship. That I might be driving in my car when they have to pull over because the tears have welled up in my eyes, God. God desires to see our hearts tonight. Can we expose our hearts to him and say, no, what, God, here I am just to worship you.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
I might not be able to do anything else, but I'm just here just to worship you, God. And I've been running around too much. Tonight I pause and I worship you. You are my focus tonight, God. There's nothing like you, Jesus. God, here I am to worship God. I bring my mind, God, my imagination, God, to worship you. God, I put my body under subjection to worship you, God. God, I bow down just to let my body know that you are in control tonight, God. And God, the smaller I become, the bigger you are, God. And God, my mind can't wrap around how big you are, God. I don't know if you realize, but it's at the point of worship where healing begins to happen and breakthrough actually occurs. So our prayers are being heard because we have yet to humble ourselves really under the mighty hand of God. God, I love you tonight. God, if you stop working in my life right now, if I had 10,000 tongues, I couldn't thank you enough, Jesus.